All right, Kevin Acey, Union Tribune.
Hey, Jayce. We're hearing a lot. Just, I guess that's the nature of it. We're hearing a lot from players around the league that are concerned. And, everyone has acknowledged the season might not end. But what I'm mostly hearing from you and your team is more like a focus on the positive and on prevention and on how it is possible. And I just wonder, has there been concern voiced by players, coaches, and how come it would be that you guys would be seemingly a little more optimistic than some others?
I can't speak for the teams around. We've just been, kind of inside our bubble and, communicating and things like that. Like, we're prepared. Our medical team, the players, they've done such a good job with the education of what Major League Baseball has provided. Look, we're all concerned, there's no doubt about it. Whether, we think we're invincible because of, our age bracket or whatever, it doesn't matter anybody that's in that room. We all deep down have a fear of getting it, not for ourselves necessarily, but we have a fear of passing it on to family members who pass it on to higher risk people and things like that. So that fear is out there. But we just have to keep, talking about the things that we can do to prevent it. And I'm thankful this organization has been very on the forefront, very, some of the first to act in these situations. And we're doing the best we can, with our protocols. And at the end of the day, we want to focus on baseball.
All right, AJ Caswell.
Jayce, what have your conversations been like with Tommy Pham, and how do you kind of address something? I know you can't get into too many specifics, but like, what's kind of the basics of your message to a guy who now has to kind of go through all this?
Yeah, his health first and foremost. And, right now he's still feeling well, not showing any symptoms, which is great. And then, my messaging has been honestly how I feel is I cannot wait, and we cannot wait to get him back in this clubhouse. Just his everything, who he is as a person, his leadership, his passion, his drive, his love for the game. We don't know when that's going to be, but that's what we're looking forward to, and certainly express those things.
All right, Marty Caswell.
Hi, Jayce. How feasible would it be for players to wear a mask during a game? A couple of your players were doing that in the drills the other day. Have you had that conversation? And are all the test results in on your players?
We don't. I haven't been updated on the test results and things like that for today. So I don't have accurate information on that. As far as, the guys wearing the mask, I would say that, I got this mask last night, and, I had been wearing the ones around the ears, and for whatever reason, this material, was very breathable, and, I didn't really notice it. And I noticed a couple of the players wearing that material as well. And look, I wasn't running around. I was, in the dugout and, moving, very slowly. But I could definitely see, a player or players being able to wear something like that and still breathe and be fine.
And apologies if I missed it. Did Brian Dozier opt out?
No. We still have, some open spots, on our roster, and he's one of those players that, we'll be looking, with possibly filling one of those spots.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Dennis Lynn.
Hey, Jayce. I know you mentioned the potential for bullpenning across the league the other day, and I was just wondering, all things being equal, I know you can't predict how numbers are going to shake out by the end of the camp, but all things being equal, do you lean any one way as opposed to, the 5-man traditional starter thing if you have those guys available, or is bullpenning a thing you think you really explore? Number 2, is Kirby Yates in camp yet doing his intake, or are you expecting him before the end of the day?
We're expecting him shortly. So he's going through the process of the intake stuff, and so we expect to get those results and expect him to be back shortly. As far as the 5-man versus 6-man rotation, I think right now our plan is a 5-man rotation, but everything can change quickly. I think our goal is to have the 5 guys ready, and we're going to have about 12 starters prepared. That's our plan.
Jayce, follow up on Tommy Pham. Has this downtime been good for his elbow, that situation that you guys are protecting a little bit coming into spring training? And then when he does resume, how quickly can he kind of ramp things back up as quickly as possible and not have the elbow be an issue?
Yeah, we haven't dealt with Tommy's elbow in it seems like it's been quite a while. So I'm guessing right after, spring training, once that got canceled, we were right on pace for, him to, be out there in left field for opening day and all that. And, that certainly hadn't changed over, the time down. As far as Tommy being ready, if I have 100 concerns, a day, the one that I have, I guess I have 0 concerns that Tommy Pham will be ready to play as soon as he comes back. That honestly doesn't cross my mind. Knowing him and what the way he works, and 0 concerns there.
Well, thanks.
AJ Caswell.
Jayce, obviously Luis and McKenzie were maybe on one trajectory in spring. They're being built up a little slower. How would you say their chances of making this roster have changed with the 60-game season, and also with the extended rosters with 30 guys and maybe some extra bullpen places available? Is that a potential spot for either of those guys?
I think it's all open game right now, and that's what we've got to use these next 18, 19 inter squad games and practices that we have is, they're going to be competing for roles. Is that a starting role? Is that, out of the bullpen one time through the lineup? Is that long relief? Is that short relief? We've just got to be prepared, for all hands on deck. So, what we expect out of them, I expect them to, don't nibble. Get after it in the zones against, Machado and Hosmer and Tatis and Profar and